Have you ever had to assign a device in an application and been confronted with a list of generic devices like USB input device or generic PnP monitor? Well, today I've got the solution for you. G'day, welcome to the channel and welcome to today's video. My name's Matt, but you will know me as WFX Malice. In my previous video, I showed how to select your default gaming monitor in Steam without affecting your Windows default display settings. And in that, there was a step where we had to select a monitor from a list of generic PnP displays. Well, that kind of triggered me and it got me thinking there has to be a better way, and there is. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to identify your devices in Device Manager and then how to rename them using Registry Editor. Let's get started. The first thing we want to do is open up Device Manager. So for Windows 10 users, just right click on your Start menu and select Device Manager. I'm not too sure about Windows 11, but for all versions of Windows, just hitting your Windows key and start typing device and it'll bring up Device Manager that way. And now we want to expand the tree for the device that we want to identify. So to start with, we're going to start with monitors and then we'll move on to USB later. So here we can see I've got 4 monitors already connected and I've already gone ahead and renamed the one I use on my sim racing rig. Right click on one of the monitors we want to identify and select Properties. Select Details tab at the top, and then we want to go to Device Instance Path. Now this is going to show us where it is within reason in Registry Editor. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to hit Windows key and we're going to type reg, and that's going to bring up Registry Editor. Select yes. Now we're going to need to go to this path, and I'll put a link down in the description so you can just copy and paste it up to the top here, but we want to go to computer, H-key local machine, system control set 001, enum /. And here we've already got our displays identified. And if we look back at our path we've got here, this is an ACR 0623 because it's an Acer monitor, and we can see in my list here. So we're going to expand the ACR and we can see I've got 3 monitors there displayed now. The monitor we're looking for is ending in 9408. So we can see that one right there. And here is the property that we want to change, where it says generic PnP monitor. So we want to right click on that and we want to choose modify. What we can do is just go and get rid of that generic PnP monitor and we can go and give it a name. But hang on, I've got 2 of these monitors side by side. They're identical. How do I know which one's which? The other way to identify it is to right click on your desktop and choose display settings. We can see here I've got my 2 monitors that are in front of me. The monitor identified as number 2 is my default monitor, and I've actually just downscaled this so you guys can read what's happening on my screen. We can scroll down to advanced display settings, and then we can choose display adapter properties for display 1. Now we can go to monitor and we can choose properties. Go to our details tab, device instance path, and we can see that it is that 9408. So that's my second or my left monitor. So we can close all this, go back to Registry Editor, and I'm going to name that one main left. And I'm going to click OK. Actually, I'm going to copy and paste that. Because what we're going to do is we're also going to create a friendly name. So if we right click in this window here, anywhere in the white space, and choose new string value, and we're going to name this one friendly name with no spaces. And then we're going to modify. We're just going to paste that in there. Now, if we go back to our device manager, we go to actions, scan for hardware changes. We can see that is now showing up as main left. We're going to go ahead and do that to the other monitor as well. Once again, we're going to go back over and we're going to scan for hardware changes, and we can see I have main left and main right. Now when I go into Steam Big Picture, I'll be able to easily see which monitor is which. Let's just prove that. Okay, now we've tackled the monitors. We're going to have a look at our USB devices. So we're going to expand our human interface devices. Now, some manufacturers are nice enough to go and load in their names in their drivers. Other devices are not. As you can see, we have USB input device times, what's that, 8. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to right click on this first one and we're going to choose properties. We're going to go to details. Now, a little bit different. What we're going to do is we're going to go down to our hardware IDs. Here we can see our PID and our VID. VID is vendor ID, PID is product ID. So our vendor ID is the manufacturer of that device, and our product ID is the model of that device made by that particular manufacturer. There's lots of different websites you can use to identify this. I've found this one to be the most useful, and I'll put a link down in the description for this one as well. In this website, we can go ahead and put in our vendor ID. So we have 1E71, and our PID is 1714. We're going to go ahead and hit search. And that tells us this particular product is made by NZXT. Now, I know that that's my fan controller for inside my PC. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and find that one in Registry Editor by going back to the device instance path. We can see that's USB vid, which funnily enough is the vendor ID and product ID. We go back to our Registry Editor. We're just going to minimize that display tree and we're going to go down to USB and we're going to go to VID 1E. Now, thankfully, it's all in alphabetical order and there it is right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to edit this one and we can see here USB input device. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rename that to NZXT fan controller. And we're going to add a friendly name as well, string value. We're going to modify and I'm going to paste that in there as well. Now, once again, if we go back over to our device manager, we're going to scan for hardware changes and look at that. NZXT fan controller. I'd like to note, if we go back into our device manager, right click on that device and choose properties, go to our details tab. We can see that there is a friendly name added into this now. There it is, friendly name, and it's gone ahead and renamed it as I wanted to. I'll show you again on another one just so you can see this work across the board, not just on the first device I went to. We're going to go to hardware IDs, bring back up our database search, and that device is my Elgato Stream Deck. I'm actually surprised Elgato didn't put a name in that one. It's a little bit poor on their behalf. So same again, I can go and find this one in my list. Notice that I've got two 0FD9s. So one of those is my Elgato capture card and the other one is going to be my Stream Deck, just going by the vid, and we know the PID for our Stream Deck. I'm going to go ahead and expand that out and we can see USB input device in device description. We're going to modify that. We're just going to get rid of that USB input device and we're going to call it Stream Deck. Copy that. I'm going to add a friendly name again, string, and we're going to modify that. We got our Stream Deck, we got our NZXT fan controller. You can see that you can go through most of these devices and you can rename them as you want. Well, I hope that's helped you. I hope that you've found this useful. If you've liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you've got any comments or questions, leave them down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.